I just want to make a brief postscript to my previous video, which I discussed the controversy at Barkan Wines, where they were trying to get the hechsher of the Eidach Haredis, of the Badats of the Eidach Haredis, and the Badats told them that, so now I got a little bit more of the story. I still don't have the full story, though. I would like to learn more about it. So essentially, they said, they were trying to get this hechsher, and the word got out that certain people were told they shouldn't have direct contact with the wine, and they didn't lose their jobs. They were just reassigned to different work, things that would take place after the bishul, things like that. And they were told business is business. Now, apparently, I saw the pictures of these guys. They look like B'nai Torah. Not that that necessarily means anything, but we could talk about that. But the interesting thing is that Rabbi Pappenheim, who was a secretary for the Eidach Haredis, not a posek, not a dayan, just an administrator, he said he didn't want to embarrass these men by asking them about their conversion status, which would mean that he would recognize them if they converted. And he didn't want to ask if they had undergone a conversion or not. And to really show sympathy and compassion to them. Obviously, it turned around, it was interpreted the opposite way. And as far as business is business, well, it affected their bottom line because the media made a whole circus out of this, and so the company apparently lost a lot of revenue because of the bad press that they got, which probably they would not make up having the hechsher of the Eidach Haredis. So again, business is business. The other way, no one's upset when they say business is business on that side. But most likely they just should have asked them about their conversion status, and I'm sure they were all kosher from what it looks like to me, and that should have been the whole story. So and I think the Eidach Haredis should go and apologize to these men in any event for not asking the question, and that would have been sufficient, because they probably should have asked, to be honest. But all that being said, once again, this is not a racial issue. It's a halachic issue that has to be handled in a halachic manner. Way too often the media seeks to malign the Eidach Haredis. I don't believe that they actually had any wrong intentions, and I don't actually believe they did anything wrong. But the media storm over it is an issue, and probably the proper way to handle it is to investigate the conversions, whether it's a gir l'chum or whatever it is, and that should be good enough, especially since these men appear to be, like I said, they appear to be observant Jews from their picture. Again, that doesn't mean anything. You can't judge a book by its cover, but they appear to deserve the benefit of the doubt, even from a halachic standpoint. And let's see how it turns out. Let's not jump to any conclusions. But I personally would like to see. It would make me proud as someone who I consider myself somewhat of a devotee of the ideology and theology of the Eidach Haredis, even if I don't live up to it all the time. I remember said that to one of the Satmar Rebbes, and I'm friendly with both of them. I said, I know the Satmar way is the right way, but I don't always live up to it. And the Rebbe said, that's okay, as long as you keep Torah. And the other Rebbe, I asked him, what does it take to be a good Satmar Yid? And he said, just live according to Shulchan Aruch, and you're going to be okay. You don't need anything more than that. Just live according to Shulchan Aruch. Try our best to be good Jews. None of this nonsense to say we should do away with, even if you have halakhic reasons, and Shuvas Haramah, whatever. To say, particularly to say that Orthodox Jews should stop insisting on kosher wine, that's totally ridiculous. Meaning there are these people who are calling online, who are calling on just giving up this whole idea of kosher wine. Forget anything about the Ethiopians. Altogether, the idea of kosher wine, which is, we don't have the power to do that. We need to have a bezdin that's big, b'chachma b'minyan, and we don't have a Sanhedrin b'zman hazeh. Once there's a Sanhedrin, when Mashiach comes, maybe someday these things will be done away with. Who knows? But until then, there's really no reason to change the status quo. But the Eidach Haredis should, as a matter of principle, apologize to these men. Particularly if they have a kosher gerus, it's a big shaila of Leisarno Seger, of mistreating the convert. So we have to take these things seriously, which Haredi Jews do. And we shouldn't buy into the media lies that Haredim that Haredim are racist, which is ridiculous. If anything, it's the Zionists who are racist. The UN has already ruled on that. It's a very famous thing. The UN said that, and I don't think most Zionists are racist. Zionism could be racism. Doesn't mean that most Zionists are consciously racist. They're just brainwashed by an ideology, and they're very emotional about it, and they don't think about it intellectually. And that's how it is, But so, essentially, this is what we have to talk about. But I would like to see some kind of apology in some way that this is fixed. All right, but still, I would like to see an apology, even though I don't believe that the Eidach Haredis did anything wrong. But sometimes it's still good to apologize when things are misunderstood, and when your good intentions have improper outcomes, which happens to me all the time. I might have a good intention, and then something wrong happens, and I have to apologize. And I thank God for the experience of humility that comes from that, and I hope I don't have to experience it too often, because it's very painful. But that's a part of life. Alright, so thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment, and all the best.